Alright gang, welcome back to our Vintage Survival here on Szpakowo. It's still October. We've got a lot to do really, so I figured let's just do another episode here in October. There's not really any specific rule, even though we've kind of been following that to an extent. There's not really any specific rule of any sort that says we can't do it in this series, because it's just a standard playthrough series with vintage equipment, right? Speaking of that, we are going to have to sell this corn header. A lot of you have mentioned in the comments, and rightfully so, that it was not of the time period. So unfortunately, we have to sell that. There's very little out there. However, there is a upgrade we can make to this harvester, which will allow us to get one, or at least, you know, a hybrid version of it, whether it's the prototype or whatnot. It's basically a similar type of harvester is what we have right now, but it is a minor upgrade to it. For now, I'm not going to be doing that upgrade. Whenever it comes time again that we need the corn header for harvesting, whatever it may be, we'll maybe consider doing the upgrade at that point. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it. For now, we will just stick with what we've got, because really all we're drilling, at least from our perspective, is standard crops, right? Now, we might, you know, potentially buy something that might change that, but, you know, as it currently stands, we don't need that, so we're not going to worry about that. However, today is the last day really for us to drill anything, and I've talked a lot about expanding fields and doing multiple different things to some of the fields, right? And we're still going to plan to do that. However, there are still a few fields for us that we would like to take care of. Now, I think in the last episode, lately, the last couple of episodes, I've been kind of all over the place, and it's not really by design. I just, I've been having a rough time lately in real life, just from work, so, you know, my mind hasn't really all been there, so I apologize for that, but nonetheless, we are going to sort it out here today. I talked about maybe potentially buying a planter of some sort, right, and reseeding the corn and the sunflower. I still think we're probably going to potentially do that, but one of those fields we're not going to do that on for now, and as a matter of fact, we might not do either field for now. We'll have to kind of think about it as we move along, but really the reason why I'm saying that is because, quite frankly, we've got those two big fields that we just harvested, right, with the corn and the sunflowers. One of those I would like to put in a standard crop. The other one I think I'm going to put sunflowers in. More specifically, the bigger field, I think that's going to be sunflowers because we can turn that into sunflower oil. Now, to do that, we've got to buy the planter. There are a few planters out there that we can potentially look at. Another issue might come into play here of the age of it. They are lizard pieces of equipment. So either it's, you know, a real piece of equipment that somebody made, or it's just a made-up piece of equipment, but they do look like they're of the time period. But it could be another situation where I'm incorrect with that statement, so, you know, we'll play it by ear as we move along. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and jump in the Volvo here. We're going to head back over, grab the drill. Whoop. I thought I unhooked that. It must have already been unhooked. Maybe. Thank you. It takes a long time to unhook. We'll grab the drill, and the sunflower field from on this side from up here, or, well, I said that completely wrong. The sunflower field that's on this area here, not the big field, not the corn field, but the sunflower field from the last episode that we harvested. We are going to put wheat or barley in. I'm not sure which yet. We're going to put that in there. As far as putting in corn or sunflowers, we can't do that right now. This is the last real month of the season that we can do anything until next year. We'll put sunflowers in, like I mentioned, but we've got a couple of months between now and then, so, you know, I'm not as concerned about that. So what we're going to do is put in wheat or barley, whichever I decide to do right now in that field. And then we'll probably jump to November, and we'll do some of the other stuff that we can do around here, or that we need to do around here, I guess I should say. I don't know where I'm going here. My drill's over there. I don't know where I'm going. Well, there's Byron causing issues for me. Actually, it was my fault this time, but we won't tell him that. We won't tell him that. We also have this field here, which, you know, I've been kind of up and down, wishy-washy on what I want to do there. I think for the time being, I'm not going to put anything in there, even though we kind of talked about it. Reason why is because I really want to get rid of those trees down there at that end and kind of expand this field. Now, it's going to be a very awkward-shaped field because it has the power line that's running right through it, right? And there's not really a whole lot I can do about that, but that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't really bother me that much. We've got enough fields going on right now anyway until we're starting able to get a lot more equipment. We got our second tractor recently, but until we can start getting a lot more equipment, bigger equipment especially at a bare minimum, don't think it's that big of a deal right now. Next month and the following months to follow here in the winter months, we're going to be doing the grass mowing and then taking down more trees, as we've already talked about. I think we're going to do wheat. Where is this field at? I feel like I missed it. Nope, it's up here. I also talked about in the last episode maybe potentially mulching this field here. There's still that chance. I think I'm going to hold off on this field for mulching, but the cornfield over there that we've talked about, we probably will mulch that here in the off-season. I don't see any reason not to do that. That gives us something else farming-wise to do instead of just doing nothing but tree work and mowing the grass, which is nothing wrong with that. I enjoy doing that. But I do like to break it up a little bit, right? Give you something else to check out and watch besides just me doing the same thing for 3 episodes in a row, right? So I think this is the field right here. We're kind of coming up to right now that you can see. This is the cornfield straight ahead of us. We'll mulch that field. I think that'll be a good thing to do. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. At the time of this recording, technically I have one more day of work, and then I will be in Vegas. So, heading to Vegas. I've mentioned it a number of times, but in case you stumbled across it, I'm heading to Vegas for, not really because I wanted to go out there, although I do like to go into Vegas, but I'm going because friends of ours are getting married in Vegas. They're doing an Elvis wedding. They've been married before. They're older than my wife and I are. Not old, but older than us. They're probably 15, 16 years older than us. They're in their 50s somewhere. 20 years older than us, something like that. Somewhere around in there. Anyway, they've been married before. They've got kids that are closer to our age. A little bit younger than us, obviously, but closer to our age, my wife and I. So they don't really need to make a big deal about a wedding or anything like that. So they like going to Vegas more than we like going to Vegas. They're big time gamblers. I'm more of a, I play poker, right? So when I go out there, I like to play poker. But I'll partake in some other gambling. I don't really like slot machines, but tables and electronic machines, sure, yeah. But I mean, I'm not gambling thousands and thousands of dollars normally when I go out there, unless I'm playing poker, obviously. But anyway, so we're going out there. They're doing an Elvis wedding just for fun, and it'll be exciting. I've never been to an Elvis wedding. I've never been to anything like that. That's going to be interesting. It's a real wedding, but whenever you think of an Elvis wedding, you think, it's somebody that just got married on a whim. I don't know why I think that because there very well could be a situation where you didn't do that, but I think it's going to be hilarious. They're going to have a real Elvis impersonator. He's going to sing 2 songs. It's going to be fun. So we'll see, right? We'll see how that goes. I think that's in Old Vegas. We're actually staying in New Vegas, as they like to call it, or on the Strip. We got comped to go out there. So I was very happy about that. Last time we went, my wife and I did spend a little bit more. Many of you know that my wife and I did get married in Vegas as well. But we didn't get married at like a little chapel type of thing, like an Elvis wedding. It was truly a real wedding. It's just we happened to get married in Vegas because we liked Vegas. And we were a little bit smart about it, right? We kind of combined the bachelor party, the bachelorette party, and all that stuff all together in the same period of time. So, you didn't have to make 2 trips or anything like that. There's people that would come out for our wedding. They're a part of the bachelor party or the bachelorette party while we're out there. So, but we're staying on at Park MGM. We got comped there. So, like I said, last time my wife and I were out there, we spent a decent amount of money. Not a ton, but enough. But we've kind of learned a few tricks along the ways, most specifically because of the people that are actually getting married that we're going out there for this time. They've kind of taught us a few tricks, about how to get comps from the casinos, right? So really, for us to go out there, it cost us absolutely nothing to go out there. And besides, the only thing we have to pay for is we have to pay for the resort fees or whatever there are, right? Which that sucks, but it is what it is. So we have to pay for that. We have to pay for the flight. Fine. We also got, let me see, make sure I get this right. I want $350, I think, in food and beverage credit, and then a $250 resort, or no, $250 in free play. I think that's what we got, which is quite a lot. That is more than what we would have to pay for the resort fees. So you add all that up together, just my wife and I was like, yeah, let's just do it. It makes sense, especially since, you know, friends of ours are getting married. So we just decided to do it. It's a little unfortunate that all the things happened that I was also dealing with. I had, you know, my car issues that were going on, and obviously I kind of put that off, but I still did pay for some of it. And then I had to have very minor, nothing major. So in case you don't, I don't think I've told you about it, but I had to have very minor eye surgery. I had a skin tag, which I've never ever had a skin tag in my life. I had a skin tag on my eyelid. It had been there for quite a while. Didn't really bother me, so I didn't really worry about getting rid of it. My wife is like, why don't you just finally go get rid of that? So I did. It just all kind of started adding up at the same time. It seems to be how it always works out, right? I had that scheduled, which that was like not cheap, and I had to pay out of pocket because insurance didn't cover it because it wasn't cancerous or anything like that. So I had to pay that out of pocket. So that wasn't cheap. That was a better part of $400 and something, outrageously expensive. And then I had the car stuff, which some of it I had to get done. The other part where I talked about a while ago of taking the engine out and that kind of stuff, I put that off for the time being. You know, so I had that, and then the car thing. So that together was like slightly over $2K when you add everything together. The new tires and the basic 90,000 mile service that I got on my car, and then the eye thing. So that was not really the most fun thing for me. So you had all that together. That's $2K less than I was expecting to have right now. So I guess how I'll put it is my money is not as good as I would have liked for it to be right now for me to be going to Vegas. So we're definitely going to be going to Vegas on a cheap approach, a cheap strategy, which means we're going to be trying to find a lot of the $1, $2 electronic tables and just, you know, trying our hand at playing some strategies that are going to make, you know, your gambling last longer than you normally would. Which is fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that either. But I'm gonna at least probably get into maybe one or two, you know, smaller, medium-sized tournaments. Something where it only costs, you know $60, $80, $100 maybe to get into and try my luck there. Because if I can make some money at poker, then I'll be good for the rest of the trip, right? You never know, though. I mean, it depends on how we do on the electronic. If I do okay, maybe I hit a couple of good things on some bubble craps or some roulettes or whatever it is I decide to play. Maybe I hit something, and then maybe I, you know, try to take that money and, you know, utilize it to give myself more opportunity, right? Maybe I take some of that money and go and play some cash poker and see what happens. I feel, you know, I'm not the best poker person in the world, but I feel relatively more confident with being able to play poker than just playing against the house, right? The house always has the edge. When you're playing poker, the house takes a little bit of the money from every hand, but you're just playing against everyone else, right? You're playing against somebody else. You're not specifically playing against, you know, the casinos, unless, of course, you're playing table Ultimate Texas Hold'em or something like that, which I do like to do that too, but that can get pricey. That can get real pricey. Especially with the tables, right? Unless you're in like old Vegas, the tables are outrageous how expensive they are in Vegas right now. So I don't see myself being at the tables at all unless I hit and get lucky somewhere else first, right? All right, so that is all done. Grass is all mowed. Now, the big problem we have right now is we don't have any kind of a windrower here. We've got a tedder. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think I can change this tedder to a windrower, can't I? It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've utilized this. I'm pretty sure I can change it. Let's head up to the shop and see if that's actually the case or not. I think I can. All right, that is all done. We windrowed that up. It took a little longer than we would have liked. Probably think about doing some kind of upgrade to that windrower at some point if we can find something. Also got everything mowed up, got it all baled up. I put the bales over there to the side. There's a reason for this. So we talked about, for a while now actually, we've talked about how we were going to start working on expanding the yard a little bit over that way and kind of maybe, you know, making it more of a different entrance and exit over there. And we're going to work on doing that today. We're also going to put down an animal, another animal. Now, it's pretty obvious, obviously, if I'm doing grass, what kind of animal it's going to be. But normally we do sheep. We're not going to do sheep. We're going to do goats. I want to do goats. I want to make some goat milk. There's some reasons why I want to make goat milk on this series. So we're going to do some goat milk. But before we do that, we really need to kind of get everything sorted out. I don't want to waste fertilizer on this area, re-fertilizing this grass field when we're going to tear it up anyway to put the goat pen. Now, this is very, well, I say very, it's really not, but this is more of a hill up here. It's more flat down here. So probably the problem becomes here. I said we were going to take this field and kind of expand it this way. I still kind of want to do that. So if we're going to expand the field this way, I'm going to imagine this imaginary line going behind here. It only gives this space here, which is not the flattest, right? It's not the flattest in the world. Does it necessarily mean that this field here has to be a perfect rectangle, square, whatever? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. But we don't really want... I don't know, we don't want to do too much, though, at the same time. So we've got this fence here, right? I would like to get rid of these trees. I know my goal here was to get rid of all of these trees back here so we can expand this field this way as well, and we still are going to do that. But I think for the time being right now, I think we're going to... I want to get rid of all of the trees right here. I know that doesn't sound like me at all because I like the trees on the roads, but I want to get rid of the trees all the way that's lining this fence. That way, when I put the track in, because I said I was going to put a track from here over to here because, you know, it's easier to go across the way right here, right, with whatever piece of equipment we have than driving it on the road where all the cars are. I think it makes most sense to get rid of the trees here for us to be able to do that. Now, the big problem here is if I'm going to do this, I need to have enough turning room to actually be able to do a wide turn, right, with like the harvester or whatever it may be, so I can go across this way. So we don't really want it to be that close. Hopefully everything I just said makes sense. So I'll tell you what, we're going to start cutting these trees down. We're still in October. I haven't jumped yet, but technically the stuff we're doing right now, I don't need to be in the next month to do it. We definitely will, you know, I want to get the pin down for the goats first and get this all sorted out first before we jump to the next month, because I want to fertilize that grass field. And so if we're, you know, not going to utilize all of the grass, right, I don't want to spend the money on fertilizing this whole entire grass field if we're only going to, you know, do part of it, right? Does that make sense? I'm sure it does make sense, but this is going to be too big to carry. I can already tell you that. So we're going to need to chop it down again. And this is going to go straight to our sawmill here. This is going to make us a lot of wood beams, too. And that's going to make us good money. Wood beams are going to be coming up soon. That was a big money maker for us, those wood beams. Hopefully we'll be able to pull that out of the way. Let's knock these two. I said let's nake. Let's knock these two down as well. Let's nake. I don't know what I was trying to say there. I'm confused like 3 words together. Which way are you falling? I don't know which way it's supposed to be going, but alright. Alright, there we go. Now, I don't think I can get rid of this fence here. Ideally, it would be nice to get rid of this fence and then have an easier path over here. I just don't think it's possible. I also think this might be a bit of an issue here, so I'm going to bring this back over because they're kind of on the fence line now, and I have a feeling if I try to winch those, it's just going to get stuck, and you're never going to be able to get them off there. So I think I'm going to have to pick these up a little bit and kind of push them out of the way, if you will. That got them kind of moving here. Hopefully we'll be able to get over here on this side now and do the same thing and kind of push them. Pulling them back wasn't really going to work, but I wanted to at least get them to an angle where I could get underneath them, if that makes sense. Oh boy, now I'm stuck. There we go. All right, we got them out. We got them out. I mean, I kind of have them all hooked up into here now anyway. I might as well just drive them over here at this point, right? There's no reason not to. They're literally connected into the forks right now. The winch probably in the way a little bit here. We'll probably be pushing up. I was going to say we're going to knock that winch over. I can already see it. All right, nice. All right, see if I can flip this thing back up now. Now that I caused mayhem. We're going to have to go the other way and try to pick it up that way. I'm so happy I got this thing, man. This thing has been more useful than I actually thought it was going to be. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. That wasn't too bad. Put this away. And it's a makeshift home for the time being. Okay, so let's grab this. Let's go get the winch hooked up here. Got a bunch of flour made there. Now, the flour is not best to sell right now. The oils, canola oil, sunflower oil, etc., that should be in November. We probably need to take a look at the mill, though, and see kind of, you know, make sure that it's still producing, because it only has so much space. Once you run out of space, it will stop producing. We don't really want that to happen. That's why we've been moving stuff out of the way, right? So, yeah, the flour is at its max capacity. It will not continue to make flour right now. Although we only have 4,648 liters of barley and 520 liters of wheat, so it's not that bad. But we definitely should move it out, so just bear with me for a minute. I'm going to move by hand. Not really the most ideal way to do it. I normally use the forklift, but since I just put the forklift away yet again, let's just move 2 out of the way. And at least we'll continue the process of letting it keep moving. It's going to be a big sell day here in the next couple of months, too. We're going to make a lot of money off those. The flour there, and, well, quite frankly, we're going to make a lot of money off the oil, too. All right, let's hook this thing up here. Perfect. Easy peasy, man. I think that's going to be good enough for the time being. We might continue off on what I said we were going to do up here by getting rid of some of these trees, but I think this is going to give us sufficient room here. If I keep the path right up here against the edge of these trees, I think it'll be fine. So let's go ahead and get started doing that first off here. So we'll go here and get my favorite, I don't know what you would call it, gravel, dirt, whatever. I don't remember which one it was now. I feel like it was this one, but I could be wrong. That's probably not it. No, that's it. That's 100% it. Okay. So, let's see here. If I take this and kind of... Tree's going to be kind of... The tree line's in the way there. I'm going to have issues there. So, let's take it and kind of go like this, and then over here like this. We're going to have to clean this up for sure. Now, we got stumps to get rid of, don't get me wrong. We've got that, which the good thing is that our mower has the ability to get rid of those stumps, right? So that's the good thing. I'm pretty happy with that. And then we need to expand it out here a little bit more, so something like that. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to kind of clean all that up too around there. Something like that. I think that's pretty good. I think that'll work. Right? Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, if I need to expand it a little bit more, we can do so. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it slightly more. Just slightly. That's good. That's good. That'll work. So we'll get rid of those stumps. Don't get me wrong. Well, that's something we will definitely be doing here soon. There should be enough room for us to come in here and turn around. Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we've got that sorted out. I'm going to do a quick autosave here, make sure that the game doesn't crash on me. It doesn't seem to be having those issues anymore, but, you know, gamer's fallacy there. I'm always nervous that after I do something like that, it's going to crash on me. I got to do it all over again. Okay, so what do we got here for GOAT options here? Obviously, we can go with the standard one that we utilized for quite a while in our one-tile challenge. It's 25 sheep. It's not terrible. I think that's relatively reasonable, although I would like something a little bit bigger than that. This is the one we're actively using in the one-tile challenge, so I don't want to go with that one. That one's probably a little bit too close. This is different. 26 sheep. It's not a ton of sheep. Or sheep. Goats. I mean, either one, really. We could go the open air approach here, or maybe even just fence it off ourselves, right? We could go that. Not sure if that's the way I want to go about it or not, but we could. We could just kind of make it our own. And you can clearly see right there where the problem is, right? It's definitely... It's much happier down here. Well, somebody in the comments was telling me something about... I don't think it works on console. Maybe it does on PC, but somebody in the comments, this is a while ago, was telling me that if you place down a building, for example, if I put this down, and then immediately removed it, and then put it back down again, you wouldn't lose any money. I don't believe that. I feel like we lose half the money if we do that, because... Basically, what they're trying to get at is you put it down, you remove it, the land has now been flattened, right? You smooth out the edges. Overall, it makes it look better. I don't think you're going to get your full money back, though. Maybe you do on PC, or maybe you can do it on PC, on console. I don't think that's possible. So this one's $48,000. We don't have enough money for that anyway. Let me go to Mod Hub and see if I can find anything else out there. I doubt it, but let me go see if I can find anything else. Alright, wasn't really able to find anything, gang, so we're going to go with the one that we had originally started with on the one-tile challenge, just for the time being. It is a good one, and it fits the theme of this one, so we'll go with that one for the time being. It probably will, and is likely to change as we continue to carry on, and hopefully more things are released on Mod Hub, but for the time being, it should work fine. It'll be sufficient. Now, I'm getting rid of the stumps here because I am going to put it kind of on this hill. I'm hoping that I'm able to smooth it out a little bit here. I've got the menu and everything on, so just bear with me for a minute. It's mostly because we're working on this, right? I'm going to try to smooth this out a little bit. I don't know how well this is going to work. It's not wanting to smooth here for some reason. I don't know why. When I get to right here, it doesn't want to smooth. See that? I think it's because it's too close to the fence, maybe? I don't know. Either way, I'm a little nervous about putting it here now that won't work. I don't think... Yeah, it won't let me get rid of this fence. So the fence is there to stay. There's nothing I can do about that. Although I didn't necessarily want to remove the fence anyway. I talked about that, right? So, I want to put it there because I really think it's going to look good there, but I am very much concerned now that I'm not able to smooth out near the fence. That really worries me a little bit. Maybe it won't be a problem, but fence line and things that are in the way, they always tend to cause mayhem, man. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So we're going to spend a lot of money here just trying to smooth this out a little bit, try to make it a little bit easier on us, hopefully, when I put this down. I think no matter what, we're going to have to do some land clearing here. I mean, it's way up in the air there, right? Way up in the air. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe if I kind of put this down here towards the edge of where I was saying it was going to be, it's going to open up this area a little bit more here, but I don't think that's necessarily a problem. But the reason why I wanted to put it so close is because then I could expand the size of the pen for them. And the reason why I'd want to do that is mainly because it allows more meadow grass to be put down, right? And the talks of what we're going to be doing here, eventually we'll be able to buy the field next to us, right? And it won't be a big problem, but we're wanting to expand that crop field over there behind our current yard area over into this land, right? So the more area I'm able to give, as far as, I think I'm just going to push it over here a little bit more and hope for the best. Like that, like right on the edge there. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I might not be able to paint all the way over there right now, but eventually we will, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. That gives me a little bit more space over there, I think. Considering that fence was causing mayhem, I think this is a smarter approach here. I'm going to push it forward here. Like there, probably. Yes, let's customize it. Let's just see how it goes. Try to keep this as straight as I can. And then we want it to go down to about, I don't know, there-ish? Maybe a little bit too much, but we'll go with it. Hard to figure out where the straight line is here. Guess we'll go with that. I don't know. It's a pretty severe drop. I don't know. I'm moving the fence here, but that's a pretty severe drop right there. I'm not feeling that confident about this right now. Okay, let's see. Can I smooth this? If I can't smooth this out right here, then we're in a disaster here. I can't. Shit. Why won't it let me smooth that corner out? Can I level this? Can I push the level out? No. I can do it over here, but over here, there is something on that corner. There is something on that corner that is causing mayhem. I don't like that. Was there grass here or something? What's the problem right here? Why is this not allowing us to do this? I mean, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't allow us to do that there. Well, this sucks. I just wasted probably a bunch of our money here. If I'm not gonna like that. You know what I mean? Nobody is. Why would you? Okay, so if I do something like that, is that better? No, that's still a pretty severe drop-off right there, isn't it? Huh. It's fine over here. But over there, that is a wicked drop-off right there. Let me drive over it. Let me see how bad this is. If it's just a bump, then you know we'll deal with it. But looks a little more severe than just a bump to me. That's a big bump. The whole piece of equipment just popped up in the air. Okay, let's just test it out. So we're going back here. We're driving quickly. We're going around the corner about as fast as you normally would. We cut the corner a little bit too much. Ugh. I don't like that. I'm sounding like a perfectionist right now, and to an extent I am with certain things like this, but I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Why is it doing that? Well, I mean, I've put it down now, gang. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I guess I could remove it. I do think it's going to lose us money. Let's just find out here. Hold on a second. Yeah, we lose half the money. So I don't know what that person was talking about. Maybe they're watching this video, and if they are, then maybe they can let me know. I don't... I guess what I could have done to begin with, I guess... It's not too bad if you're not too close to it. I don't think very often we'll be too close to it. We'll get by with it. We'll do with it. We'll deal with it. Yeah, we'll be able to deal with it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Relatively speaking, I'm very, very happy with this. I just don't like that right there. So, let's get some sheep going here, or some goats. I keep calling them sheep. Goats. Let's get some goats going. 34 animals is what it can store, so it actually does increase depending on how big you make the area. So that's actually a good thing. I'm happy with that. I'm very, very happy about that, actually. Is it not on this side? I thought it was on this side. Okay, it's over here. There we go. All right, so we want goats. We've got plenty of... grass for the goats, so it's not a problem. We're going to have to get water over here, though. We do have our water tank, so it's not a big deal. But now we're going to have to run that back and forth, right? So probably going to have to get a second one at some point. Let's see. What are we going to do here? I guess I'll just go... I mean, they're not that expensive, right? I want them to reproduce, though. I think I'm just going to go with 5 goats for the time being. and then let them reproduce for the rest of it. Oh, rain started. Hey, the goats are in there, man. Those are full-grown goats, too. They're gonna be relatively happy with themselves here. We're going to clean this area up a little bit. Let's get some food over there to them first of all. I should have just left this over here. I've needed it twice now. I've had to go get it twice. I should have just left it over here. Now, we're going to put all 4 of these bales over here for the sheep. Are they going to need all 4 of these bales? I highly doubt it. There's only 5 of them. They're not going to need them, you know, for a bit. But eventually, we probably will, right? And this is just going to make sure that they have plenty of food for quite a while we sort out what we're going to do with the rest of this. I already talked about expanding the field and everything, right? So we're going to need that. This is going to be the problem right here. Ooh. That is a big drop-off, man. Which one's the food? I don't remember. You would think I'd have this memorized by now, but I don't. Okay, where we're going is the food. That's what I thought. Right, we're going to set it right there for now. Maybe. Well, my plan was to set it right there, but now... Okay. Okay. What is happening right now? Okay, there we go. I don't know what the hell was happening right there, gang. That was bizarre. Anyway, move these last 2 over here. Then we're going to go get the water tank, and we'll make sure we get them some water. We'll fertilize this grass field, and then we'll jump to November. I don't think we're going to actually do a whole lot in November in this episode. I actually had expected to, but given the fact of how big of a nuisance this has become, and that went well, I don't think we're going to be doing that anymore. I really hate that. Really hate that, gang. I really, really do. Now, we're not going to spend a whole lot of extra time here trying to clean up the area, putting it and making it look nice and neat. We can do that here in the upcoming episodes, right? It gives us more things to do here in the upcoming episodes. So I'm not too concerned with that right now. It's more of let's just get them in a good health so they'll reproduce, or they'll at least beginning the process here to start reproducing. Don't think I'm going to be able to put this one on top of the other ones. So I think we're just going to attempt here. This is probably not the smartest thing I've ever done. We're going to try to push this forward here. Okay. That'll work. And then just drop this off here if I can. There we go. Perfect. You know, now that I think about it, I'm wondering if I could fit this, although this is probably not the smartest idea now that I say that. I think it would fit in there, though. I was going to say maybe I could put this in there, because there's a shed storage in here, but our pallets are going to be spawning right here. This might also be a problem over here getting the pallets, but we'll see. We'll wait and see, I guess. For the time being, it's good enough. It's good enough. They're eating their food, so that's good. They also have the meadow grass, which it will not be ready. The meadow grass is not going to be ready this month. You know what? I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to put this over here. We got rid of the header here, so we don't really have anything else to put in here because we moved the fertilizer spreader over there, right? So we're going to put this in here for right now. Okay, so let's jump into here. We'll drop the winch off, and you know what? Let's do the fertilizer real quick, and then we'll go get the water tank. We got another pallet here spawn. That's nice. All right, quick autosave here. Let me go ahead and turn these icons off. I don't like them. Only turn them on when I have to. All right, actually, turns out we don't have any fertilizer here, gang. I thought we did, but we don't. Now, we have this liquid fertilizer here. It just doesn't seem like it's the smartest thing for me to do. So, I guess I could take some out of the drill, but I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just head to the shop and buy some. We'll get the fertilizer put down on the grass there, which will take a few seconds. Then we'll go grab the water tank, and we'll give the sheep, I keep calling them sheep, give the goats some water.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up.
Okay, well, I thought I started recording again. I did not. But really all I did was kind of walk around and take a look at some stuff. All the stuff we have, it's not going to be best to sell until December, so like the flour and the wood beams. Now, we do have the canola oil and stuff, the sunflower oil. I don't know when those are going to be best to sell. Well, I know the canola oil is in November. The sunflower oil is not till March, so we'll hold off on the sunflower oil, but the canola oil should be November, so we will sell that once we get to it. It's going to take us a while to get there. Canola oil. Actually, it says canola oil is December too, so never mind. I'm incorrect on that statement as well. So I guess December is going to be a big month, but we'll start working on knocking down all of those trees, working on expanding these fields, etc. We do have to do a second application of fertilizer on the field that we drilled today. Also, we got to do a bit of herbicide or weeding, whatever we decide to do there as well. But yeah. Very productive day, I think. We've got goats, man. I'm excited about that. Very excited about having the goats. They're going to produce a lot of money for us with that goat milk, and then we're going to eventually, hopefully, turn that into something else within a production, so long as we're able to find something that meets the criteria here. And, yeah, this is good, man. They've got the meadow grass here. It's November, and things are good, man. Things are really good on the farm. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button for me. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much to my members. There's a link down below for that. Also, a link for the Discord, which is free to join if you're interested in that. And, yeah, thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.